Yeah, there's a lot what you just said, Stefan, and even in the previous question that was asked in respect to Roberto Alomar. And don't worry, I'm not going to be long, guys. But what I do want to say is, I don't think people's response is usually like a light switch, meaning like it's either on or it's off. And it's not, people don't take time to actually try to process that type of emotion when you have some type of nostalgia, sentiment towards a person or towards something, and then you kind of see it, quote unquote, being ruined. And I think we have to be very mindful that nobody's perfect. And two things can be true at the same time. Is Roberto Alomar a fantastic baseball player and somebody who literally was a icon in Toronto in the early 90s? Yes. Did he also do things that were not right, criminal, and should probably lose some of the idolism and pedestal that he been put on? Yes. One does not negate the other. It's the same. I know it's a sensitive topic. You can't discredit completely Bill Cosby and all of his work just because I'm not saying that the tragedy of having all of these cases come out against him. Both things are true. He was sick and did something criminal, and he also produced one of the greatest TV sitcoms of all times. Nobody is perfect, and we have to be able to take time to process those emotions where like it hurts when, as a Torontonian, as somebody who had his poster, as somebody who has the T-shirt still from '93, like it hurts to hear that information, but at the same time, it's like, well, we're all flawed, we're all human. And it's horrible that I have to hear that somebody who I literally watched win a World Series have all these criminal activities and heinous behavior come out with his name on it as well. And that's just something that we have to rectify with. But in our society, it's usually just like it's either it's on or it's off. And that's the hard part.
Going back into the chat here, Benton says this: it's fun to celebrate others. It's tough to restore others. Once one falls, no one wants to help you up. Will Ramirez writes this: people forget that people are broken and flawed. We are wrong for making idols of them. It's okay to admire and respect their talent, but know that it doesn't make them a good person. I was lucky enough to watch Alomar play before the era of social media, so I had nothing else to admire except for what he did on the field. Hannah Shamus writes this: it's what culture says is worth losing. There was a study I was researching in my research methods. That's Hannah flexing on us. Research methods class where Black men were injected with disease without consent for research purposes. It was justified by an ethics board because of the benefit of what they gained through the research at the time. Culture at the time said that this was worth it. Will Ramirez writes this again: I also hate the erasure from the sport. You can't pretend that he didn't do great things for the Jays because he may have done something almost 30 years later.
My
Paul
guy
Montaigne,
will come with facts.
What up, Paul? There needs to be space for both consequence and grace. It's a tough balance. With celebrity, I find it's difficult to reconcile feelings on the personal actions from the positive memories and experiences. And then Maddie Colburn writes this: I think maybe some people have tied their faith, personality, and loyalty to people. I know for Ravi, so many felt like he was fundamental, quotations, in their faith. It might lead people to become defensive. Tim?
And so just going off of the whole thought of Ravi, it's like I'm thinking of what Paul says in his letter, imitate me as I imitate Christ. Right. And so what we end up finding is we have a lot of Christians, and then even on a broader spectrum within society, culture as a whole, we look to that person that we aspire to be like, and we set ourselves up to imitate them. So what ends up happening in the world of Bill and Ravi is that these are two upstanding gentlemen within the Christian faith. And it's like I am modeling my life after them because they are everything that I want to be. And it's in the midst of all of that that they lose sight of who they are truly trying to aspire to be, who is Jesus. And then in the eyes of culture, you have these icons like Roberto Alomar, a champion, a legend throughout the city. And he is someone that if you grew up playing baseball in that era, or you were a fan, this was something within this person's life that you aspired to be a part of those characteristics. You wanted to exemplify that. And so now what ends up happening is that though they have achieved certain things, that they have achieved certain notoriety, that the lives that they have been living, for better or for worse, exhibit some level of fallacy, which in the world and the culture that we exist in, leads you to be canceled. That forgetting everything else that you've done before, and we're going to throw out the baby with the bathwater itself. It's like, you've done good, but it's like that bad that you've done, and it's not at all to downplay the significance of the evil, the hurt, the bad that they have inflicted upon other people's lives. It's like that itself has erased everything itself.
Interesting. And I'm glad that someone invoked Bill Cosby, because here's a question that I want to pose. Why do we still celebrate guys like Kobe, Bill Cosby, Hybels, Ravi? Like there's a long list of
R.
names.
Kelly.
R. Kelly, like, you know what I mean? I heard someone
Chris Brown.
Chris Breezy, Tory Lanez. I heard someone bumping R. Kelly Ignition, actually, the remix, a couple days ago. I was like, wow. Okay.
I'm not trying to be rude.
Nice. Well played.
It's true. That is actually
well played.
Why do we still celebrate these guys? But then at the same time, and here, we got to look at it. We got to be fair here. Why do we still celebrate these guys, but then turn around and hate Donald Trump, former president of the United States, the man who lost so I could get steaks from a lot of guys here?
Shut up.
Why do we hate Donald Trump for allegedly doing the same thing? Is, again, double standard. Is there a double standard? I just want to know, why do we still celebrate guys, though?
I think for some of these guys, so like some of the guys you mentioned, I don't think they're being celebrated as much as we think. Bill Cosby's not being celebrated.
No.
He's being torn apart like some of these other guys. But yeah, like Kobe is being celebrated.
Literally torn apart.
Ray Lewis is being celebrated, Ben Roethlisberger is being celebrated. And all of these guys were being either charged for rape or for murder or for whatever it is. But the reason is they got ahead of themselves and they asked for forgiveness. And then you have these guys like, a Bill Hybels or like Donald Trump, who were staying firm in their in their quest to deny things. And so people then build up a hate against them. And they're like, you know what, these guys are just frauds. So then when things do come out, they're like, see, we told you so. And so we want to jump on those guys quickly. But the fact remains, these guys are all the same. Like, I think Adam may have said it before, Kobe did screw up. Kobe did mess up, yet people say, oh, he's this great Mamba, gets the tattoos of Mamba mentality and all this foolishness. But he's just like all these other...
Mamba everywhere.
Mamba everywhere.
But for life.
Bible number 5.
Y'all are so stupid.
He's just as bad,
stupid.
but he's just as bad as all the other guys if you're going to look at it. That's just my take.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching one of our House of Common show clips. To get more of this conversation on either YouTube or on podcast, click the link in the description below or at the end of this video. Remember that we are on live on YouTube at 10 o'clock every single Tuesday, and we drop a podcast every single Friday. Make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and we will see you again with some more clips. This has been the House of Common Show.